ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. We here at Angry Me Production want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at TexasMobileNotaryMindy.com. That's TX, MobileNotaryMindy.com. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, angry faithful of all ages, backbenchers, trolls, creepers, lurkers, welcome. It's Nerd Sports episode 191. As you can tell, again, the Jaka is he's not necessarily late. I mean, militaristically speaking, yes, he is late. He wasn't here 15 minutes early, so he should know better.
He's gonna miss the weird sport. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, he is gonna miss the weird sport. But yeah, we're going to give him a pass on that one. But without further ado, much to the delight of our esteemed producer, David Dickerman, this week's weird sport.
I might have showed this already, but I'm not really sure. But I still find it funny. It is no MMA fighting with no arms. It's just basically a bunch of kicking. But the people that have it, that are in the competition, have no arms. How is this MMA? Because you only have you can choke somebody with your legs, I guess, if you get there.
Should it be called MMA but legs?
I don't know. Just that's. I saw that and I was like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
So
okay, so let me see here. The news is a little slim this week. We're getting to that time of year. Everybody's like, oh, basketball's kind of in the ho-hum part of its season. Hockey is being hockey. There's a little bit of baseball news here and there, but it's mostly about football. Everybody's looking at football.
Did you see that the Astros traded what's his face?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get to that. The big announcement from baseball is Saturday, August 2nd. They're going to have what's called as the Speedway Classic. They're going to be holding a major league game at Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm very, very curious to know how they're going to set that up inside the Coliseum. Because it's a half-mile track. And the turns are banked. Unless they I have no idea how they're planning on doing this because there's garages inside Bristol that have got to be torn down or removed or what, I want to know how they're going to do this. I mean, they're picking the Braves against, in Cincinnati to play that game.
Oh yeah.
I'm just, I don't know. I don't get it. At what point do the gimmick games, and let's just be honest, let's just call them what they are. They're gimmick games. That's all they are. Plus, you got this big, huge gondola that hangs over the speedway, right in the middle of the infield. And I understand that thing could be moved, whatever. But I think that it's stupid. It is. It's dumb. It's a dumb idea. I mean, is Bristol Motor Speedway hurting that bad to fill or to book out events? I don't think that they are.
I don't know. I mean, look at when we went to Texas Speedway. I was pretty. There's barely any people there.
Well, given the temperatures and the TV ratings at the time, yeah, I mean, we kind of hit it at a low spot. But last year, ratings were up for NASCAR all across the board. Ratings were up for Major League Baseball last year, all across the board. How or why? I want to know. I want to know whose brainchild this was. Because to me, this is just stupid. You're going to put a baseball field in a place that has no business having a baseball field in it, let alone having the ability to fit a baseball field into it. Yeah, I mean, unless they're talking about doing a complete repave of, I mean, because they would cover Bristol in dirt, but it still had a functional racing infield with garages and a place for the haulers to park. But now you're talking about putting seating in and then punching holes in the asphalt to hang poles that are capable of holding up the netting. You've got to lay down a baseball field in the middle. Hey, what's up, Darius? You got to put a baseball field in the middle of Bristol Motor Speedway.
Well, okay, looking at the Speedway, yes, they could do it. Okay. I don't know why you would do it. They could do it.
Hold on.
They could put a ballpark in there. Okay. Because they do the same thing with what was it? They just had it. They did a baseball tournament like in a New York Giants Stadium. I think they had one there.
Do what?
It was a stadium. They had like a football stadium, but they converted it into like a baseball field for a day.
Well, they used to do it all the time at the Coliseum in Oakland because it was built for the Raiders. But then when the A's moved to town, instead of building a dedicated stadium for the A's, they just said, "Hey, we're going to get bang for our buck," and they just doubled it up. But I mean, they take baseball stadiums all the time and put football fields in them. I mean, the Fenway Classic does that, and just like that, there is the Jaka.
You missed the nerd sports. It's no arm MMA.
You mean the weird sport? He's in the middle of the nerd sports, but
this
yeah,
is all of this the nerd sports.
Yes.
Yeah.
So interesting. You just missed it. We're still kind of talking about it. NASCAR announced next year in August that they're going to be hosting a Major League Baseball game against the Braves against the Cincinnati Reds at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here we go.
The turns are banked. Okay.
No. Here we go. I got it. You mother.
Okay. It doesn't sound like you got it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like I got it, but I have it.
Okay.
This is what it supposedly is going to look like.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same picture, but I'm like, that is dumb.
I mean, it looks weird.
No, it does not look. It doesn't look right.
Yeah, granted it doesn't look right, and I'm still. I mean, you gotta.
I mean,
good.
I mean, because you look at it and you're like, okay, how can we not fuck this track up, right?
Why?
I mean, you're gonna tear up something.
Run. How are you going to judge how they're going to for a home run on that?
I mean, you got your bullpens. You got your bullpen. You know the. I'm guessing that's going to be the visiting bullpen. No, that's one of the bullpens is going to be turn one, and then you've got. Well, actually, if that's set up the way that I think it looks like it's set up,
And of course, they're going to run this simultaneously, right?
that's either turn one or that's going to be turn.
That would be funny.
The race is going during the game, right?
Right, that'd be hilarious.
That I would actually watch.
I would, yes, I would totally watch that.
You know,
Yeah,
home
can you imagine that? Right?
shit.
Can you imagine that though?
How did the center fielder die?
If you're hauling ass coming out of one of the turns that faces the outfield, and then bam, just a baseball just annihilates your fucking Lexan windshield.
Tell you,
You know,
I would 100% watch that.
can you imagine what pit stops are going to look like? You know, we're trying to change tires along the first baseline. You know, you got pitchers trying to warm up to come in the game, and they're dodging cars and fucking. You know, somebody loses a tire, and the catcher gets taken out.
Even better. It's at the end of the race, and a guy goes for the winning circle to do his donuts and everything like that. It's one of the players.
No, the tire smoke, you know, obscures the catcher, and he can't see the fastball, and he gets drilled.
Oh God.
You know, or that's the pitch that they call the
We're
knuckle
finally
curve
looking
on.
for the opportunity for this.
And that knuckle curve, just the bottom falls out of it, and it just fucking nails the dude right in the balls.
See,
Yeah.
I'm telling you that you make that happen, you refuse to go through the roof. I'm telling you,
Yes.
you will have butts in seats like never before.
I mean, you know, I can see that, and then you want to talk about the absolute like the ultimate definition of nosebleed seats. I mean, if you look at the way that seating is arranged, I mean,
That's true. That is another thing.
I mean, it's bad enough. Like you get people that pay that kind of money to watch this, you know, watch the race from those seats up there. You're right. Yeah, Darius. That'd be
That wind coming up.
noise.
You get that wind coming off there. That's going to throw your pitch off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that there's a vortex effect over racetracks on race day. So I mean, it's just
Exactly.
That would be awesome, though.
Right.
good Lord.
I'm telling you, I would watch the shit out of that.
Oh yeah, it's
Well,
like
it's a 2-run home run, but there is a caution out for debris.
well, it's like that. It's like
Darryl Waltrip out of retirement. He like boogity boogity boogie. Let's go play baseball, boys.
It's like that. Doge that Elon Musk found was the steroid methed up mice or rats.
Have first pitch coincide with the green flag drop.
Or the command to fire your engines. You know, play ball and start your engines.
One of the cars shoots the ball through the exhaust pipe. It just shoots it at the catcher. We need a new catcher.
Have the poll winner throw out the first pitch from the car.
Right. Yeah. You know, they do it on like a you know, a pace lap or whatever. They drop the window net and they toss it out the window. And then they got to pull the pole winner over so they could refasten his window net because you know he can't do that and drive at the same time. Right. I mean, if they can get the logistics to work, and I mean, if they can cover that entire track in dirt and run dirt rate, well, when they used to run dirt races in there, I mean, I don't see why they can't get grass to grow. You know what? No,
You know
Here's
what
what's
it
going to
is?
end up happening. That's going to be a turf field. It's going to have to be a
Yeah.
turf field.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be.
It's because they lack one thing that makes the green grass grow.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dirt?
Blood. Blood
Oh,
makes green
okay.
grass grow.
Yeah.
Blood makes the green grass grow.
I mean, I can.
And the only way to get the blood flow or to blood the blood to flow is cold steel. Cold blue steel.
Yep. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, I did. I hollered, but it wasn't for anybody out there. No. I'm so glad I've got the light on. I mean, it's on,
I was wondering about that.
and I still get bothered.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Shouldn't you hang it up?
I mean,
Shouldn't
it's
you hang it up
no,
outside.
it's right there when you come in. You look. It's boom. It's right there. It's literally it's right there.
Yeah, but that could mean anything.
You
Yeah.
also have to remember the lack of chromosomes.
Well,
Which
I mean, at least
live in that house.
At least the mountains are blue. I don't care.
More or less. I mean,
The mountains are blue. I'm doing my show. I don't care.
It's purple mountains, Majesty. Hello.
not that mountains. I know what
Not
he's talking
those
about.
mountains.
Can't.
Notice I didn't put the name up there.
That was impressive right there. Like you got the point across without violating any copyright laws.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
impressive.
Yeah.
Who are we kidding? We're still going to get dinged.
Hey,
So, all right.
Those few mountains could belong to anybody, sir.
They could. They could. All right. So the Orioles signed a Japanese right-hander, Sugano, to a 1-year contract. He was the one that just announced his eligibility for Major League Baseball. He spent the last 12 seasons with the Nippon Professional Baseball League. He was the longtime pitcher of the Yomiuri Giants, which is basically the Japanese version of the Yankees. He's 35 years old, so he might not be around for too long. He is the 2-time winner of the Somemura Award, which is the Japanese version of the Cy Young. He's a 3-time Central League MVP and an 8-time All-Star in the Japanese league. So he's definitely come into the Orioles with some pedigree. So last year he went. He had an injury-plagued year last year in the 23 season, actually. He went 15-3 with a 1.67 ERA, 111 strikeouts in over 156 and 2/3 innings pitched. And that was over 24 starts. So he sounds like a horse. So look out, everybody. What I see happening is good. I mean, so here's a breakdown of his pitch arsenal. He's got a 4-seam fastball. He's got a cutter. The 4-seam fastball tops out at 92. His cutter is 87. He's got an 82-mile-an-hour slider. His splitter is an 86-mile-an-hour pitch. He does have a sinker that he throws at 91, and his curveball is 77. So that's a pretty decent diversity as far as like velocity is going to be concerned. I mean, they get all excited up in the booth when you start talking about a guy who's got a five pitch arsenal. This guy's he's coming into the major leagues with 6 pitches to choose from. So, I mean, as long as he can locate and the major league hitters do what major league hitters are supposed to do and they make their adjustments, it looks like it's going to be prime for, a pretty interesting first season. Yeah, he will have to get that curve up though. I mean, it just depends on how much break that he's got with that curveball. I mean, if it's a true 12-6, then I think he should be okay. I mean, that's really the true one off-speed pitch that he does have available to him there. So I think he should be okay there. He was a member of the 2017 World Baseball Classic team for Japan, like I said, back in 2017. And let me see here. And not a lot there. We just went over the hopefully the
what appears to be initially a dumpster fire in Bristol next year. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
we still
Yeah,
have
the Astros did trade Kyle Tucker, the right fielder for Houston. They traded Kyle Tucker to the Chicago Cubs. I say Tubs because that's usually the body type of a lot of the Cubs fans that go to Wrigley in the middle of the day.
'Cause they're-
We got to drink our old style beer, and we got to eat the bratwurst and the sausages. Go Cubs!
Don't forget the Malort.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're gonna watch our games from Wrigleyville. You know, I guess Cubs finally got tired of people scamming free games off of those off of those houses across the street. So they were like, "Fuck it, we're buying the rooftops and putting bleachers up there." Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, so they deal him to the Cubs, and they actually got some pretty decent pieces in return. They receive infielder Isaac Paredes, right-hander Hayden Winiski, and third baseman Cam Smith. Now, Cam Smith is ranked as Major League Baseball's number 73 overall prospect by MLB Pipeline. Now, anybody who knows anything about baseball, let's not get all excited about where somebody's ranked in the prospect pipeline because we all know that those numbers are arbitrary. So, conversely, and it tells you how depleted the Astros farm system is. Smith immediately became the Astros' number one prospect. So, but yeah, I mean, and that's a valid point, Darius. I think that Cam Smith being a third baseman by trade, that is a backup plan. Now, I do know that the Astros were supposed to increase their offer to Alex Bregman. And I mean, obviously now they've got the space to do it because now they don't have to worry about paying Kyle Tucker. I don't know. I just kind of feel like, you know, we're going to get to a breaking point where fans are going to start demanding a salary cap for baseball. And I think that it's going to come to a point where it's going to ultimately damn near kill the game. I mean, we're talking about people boycotting the sport on levels that haven't been seen since the return from the work stoppage back in 94, 95. So it's just these contracts are just getting out of hand. So I don't know. We could
why
be
haven't they? Okay, what was it, like 2 to 3 years ago they were going through another baseball strike?
Well, it wasn't a baseball strike. They were threatening to lock the players out. The owners were, because the players union, it's called the collective bargaining agreement. So the collective bargaining agreement needs to be renewed every 5-6 years, something like that. And so when it came time to renew the terms for the CBA, the players union and the owners committee, they couldn't see eye to eye. And because, you know, the owners, obviously they want more games being played in between off days, things of that nature, issues of per diem, merchandising percentages, things like that. I mean, look, here's my thing. With unions being what they are, I understand that there's a purpose for them. But it doesn't help when the union pockets a lot of that money to pay the people who run it. If you're going to be a part of the players union and you're still an active player, your paycheck comes from your contract. That's the way it should be, right? And somebody's got to be the first one to go, you know what, maybe a salary cap would not be a bad thing. because what the salary caps are going to start, what these huge contracts are going to start doing, rather, is it's going to start pushing a lot of would-be generational talent out the door because owners aren't going to be able to afford to pay them. And so you might start seeing guys who are these generational talents, like the Mookie Betts, like the Shohei Otanis of the world, stay with one team their entire careers. Like the Dustin Pedroias, like the let me see here. Chris, give me some longtime Texas Rangers that played their entire career with the team.
You know what? Spot now.
Yeah, right. I mean, you're going to see things. You're going to see more and more of the Derek Jeters. You're going to see more and more of the Tony Gwynns.
Beltre?
Yeah. Well, no, Beltre played for the Red Sox for a season. He was playing somewhere else before then.
I mean, they may not have
the point that I'm trying to make.
There were a lot of long term. They may not have been their whole career, but there was some long term there.
Yeah, there was some long term there, absolutely. But you're going to start seeing a lot of these guys staying put, because you're going to start hearing terms like hometown discounts being thrown around, and a lot of that is going to be because people want to. They want to play for the same team. They want to play around the same type of people, and
well, you also got to think some of the times that the players switch over isn't because, I want more money. Sometimes it's just the basic fact that I don't want the toxic environment.
Well, and you can request a trade at that point. But what I'm talking about is avoiding these huge, like 15, 13, 15-year contracts that, I mean, honestly, I'm not saying that I want to see the end to like $150 million contracts. I just want to, if you're going to get a $150 million contract, play for at least 8 years. I mean, back in the day when a contract was a contract, you played out your contract unless the owners negotiated a deal with another owner and the receiving owner bought out the contract. I mean, cash has to exchange hands, right? Just like in college sports, when a football coach, gets fired, they don't get walking papers and say, "Hey, we'll mail your last check to you." The remainder of whatever contract they've got left gets bought out by the boosters or gets bought out by the university, and they get sent down the road. So there's no violation of contract there. Contracts in Major League Baseball don't mean shit anymore. Because an ownership group can be like, well, we paid for this bill of good, for this for these goods, and we're not getting a return on our investment. We're going to go ahead and cut you because your performance is down. We're going to release you, kind of a situation. There's always an option in those contracts for that.
Well, yeah, that's
so
any contracts that do
right.
that.
It just, you want to, you play for us for 10 years? Okay, great. We expect X amount, right? Oh, but we got these players that are going to better fill our needs. We're going to take you and we're going to trade you to somebody else. It's like, come on. There's got to be some kind of middle ground there where the players can get what they want, but the fans also don't have to pay the price for it. That's just kind of, I mean, that's where I'm at, and I know it's just sad to see that this is where the game has gone. And I mean, while the storylines are there and it's great and everything like that, and sure, you milk the fan base for more money whenever a player switches teams because that means more jerseys have to get sold. I don't see the point in having to pay $40 for a nosebleed seat when it didn't used to be that way. Yeah, I mean, exactly. $200 million, you're going to play for us for at least 10 years. And if you want to, if you want to opt out of that contract, when you forfeit the rest of that money, there's no guaranteed money up front. I'm sorry, it's just that's not happening. And that 200 million, that's going to go against the salary cap.
Yeah,
100%.
you get paid for how much you actually stayed for.
Yeah. So it's just no. Anyway, so we're going to talk ourselves into circles. Let me pull up the picks from last week.
Well, before you do that, one last announcement for sports. Caitlin Clark won the Athlete of the Year in 2024, and people are upset about it.
No, some people are pissed that she was alone on the cover of
Time magazine.
like Time magazine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh,
Because
it's,
should have had. Why didn't you have the whole NBA on there?
Because the whole NBA wouldn't be there without Caitlin Clark.
It wasn't Athletes of the Year. It was Athlete singular.
yeah.
Well, but they did it for the American Soldier in 2001 and 2002. Well, that's because the American Soldier, according to Time Magazine's criterion to be person or persons of the year, you have to be the most talked about thing in the news.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. So, as far as the Heisman, you got Travis Hunter from Colorado. Not saying that he didn't deserve it, but there was another player out there in the collegiate ranks that had better stats. You know, and was it a popularity contest? Yeah.
That's all these things are becoming, because a lot of the times,
Like Bryson Daly, the quarterback for Army. He was just like a couple of votes short of having to try to hightail it to New York City after the debacle that was the Army-Navy game, and that's all that we're going to mention about that game this year. So you can fucking just suck on it.
I mean, he did get like MVP for most.
Well, he set a single season touchdown record for Army, single season touchdown record for the AC or the AAC, which is the conference that they're in.
Did they add the ones that he tossed for the Navy though?
Anyway, yeah, it rolls just like that. And he didn't throw any pick sixes for the Navy, so fuck off, David. Anyways, because here's the last thing I'm going to say. You can have a good season, go undefeated in conference play, win your conference championship, be ranked, yada yada yada. But the only way that you're going to have a great season at Army is if you beat Navy. They did not fucking show up for that game.
I turned it off at a certain point.
I embarrassingly enough, I did too. I turned it off about 5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Because I'm like, all it was doing was putting me in a bad mood, and I don't want to be one of those guys that lets the outcome of a sporting event affect my home life. So,
And ruin your TV.
Well, I spent money on that TV. I'm not going to trash my TV, just like I'm not going to spike a controller just because a game is pissing me off.
There's so many there's so many videos I see, like people are like bashing freaking.
Well, when I constantly have to berate my kids to, if a game is pissing you off that bad, go find something else to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, there's a reason why I have not completed the platinum trophy on Astrobot yet, because the last bot, the 301, 301st, bot that you got to get, fuck that level right now. Okay. Just thinking about it pisses me off. So once, I've got a nice level head, I'll go back, platinum the game, and then probably never pick it up again. So,
Yeah, but I beat it. But but I beat it on my own like some people.
Yeah. So, case in point. Anyways, on to NFL news. Patrick Mahomes suffered a mild high ankle sprain. He's listed as week to week. There are people that are like, "Oh, the season's over. Oh, woe's us." I'm like, "Oh, shut up." It's a high ankle sprain. What they're going to do is they're going to shoot him full of cortisol, and they're not cortisol, cortisone, and then they're going to be like, "All right, we're going to wrap him up, and we're going to test him out. We're going to put him in a boot." And look at the Texas quarterback for the last game of their last regular season of the game, against A&M. He was in one of these high speed, low drag, braces that, for his ankle kind of a thing. He'll be fine. Will he be able to throw off that back foot? Maybe, maybe not.
Well, they have these new ankle braces.
I just said that. Thanks for actively participating in the conversation, David.
You're welcome.
Did you guys hear about those ankle braces they have now?
Thank you, Chris.
Yes, those
No,
ankle braces, right?
We should totally talk about those.
Yeah, Colin, have you heard about those new ankle braces? Darius, really? Have you heard about the new ankle braces? Sometimes, David, it's like you're here physically, but mentally you're somewhere else. And then you come back in, and you're like, "Oh, wait, I know something about this."
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly how it goes.
Love you to death, dude, but sometimes I just want to fucking choke you.
Hey, David, are you diagnosed with ADHD by any chance?
Yes.
No, he doesn't know what HD is, but he's got 80 of them bitches.
He's diagnosed with basically the entire DS5.
Yeah.
He's pretty much got it all.
Yeah, not to be confused with Babylon 5.
Great show. by the way.
Okay, it was very good.
But
Love that show.
I'm thinking about rewatching the whole seasons.
Yeah, well, when you go back and you watch season 1 and you look at the special effects, you're like, "Oh my god, did they do this on Windows 95?" I mean, literally,
Basically,
it looked like the airbrush cutscenes that you would see on the old CD-ROM games like Command and Conquer.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, we thought that shit was high tech back then. Like,
Hell
that
yeah.
was the reason why the show got canceled was because the budget for the visual effects went through the roof. I'm like,
Never get better than this.
God, we had to put like 5 PS3s together just to film the last sequences. It's like, ugh. Anyway, yeah, it was a mile high ankle sprain on Sunday against the Browns. Will he be back? Probably. Who probably won't be back is the Lions running back David Montgomery. He's actually he is officially out for the season, but he underwent knee surgery today for a torn MCL during their loss to the Bills on Sunday. So he was half of their Sonic and Knuckles, or Knuckles and Sonic duo, their running back tandem that they had in the backfield. Will that hamper their offense? Maybe to a degree. I mean, they might lose some on their average yards per carry, kind of a deal. Because Montgomery was a stud. Like, he was one of these yards after contact guys. And I mean, he was really like their bread and butter third down back, right? He would get you guys, he would get the team out of a pinch 95% of the time. I mean, he was making positive plays. So we'll hope that he, bounces back next year, bounces back strong. The former Falcons general manager is going to interview for the vacant general manager position for the New York Jets. I don't know what you're expecting by going from one shit team to another shit team, except maybe a higher tax bracket, but don't get your expectations up too fucking high. Just kind of saying.
What's the definition of insanity?
Exactly. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, that's pretty much about. Oh, I mean, there are people on the Indianapolis's quarterback's ass. I mean, they're talking about why did he even get drafted? I mean, this kid doesn't belong in the NFL.
What was that one play that he freaking tossed the ball to one player and they
Well, I
tossed?
mean, literally, and statistically, he is the worst passer in the history of the NFL.
Jesus.
I mean, he has some competition with Dallas.
No, because I mean, at least Dak Prescott used to be able to win games.
At one point, he was good.
All right, so right now, big surprise. Minnesota is up 10-0 over the team from Chicago. See what I did there?
Yeah.
All right. And then the Atlanta is up over Las Vegas, but that's no big surprise there either. But moving on. All right. So we all picked the Rams to win on Thursday night. That was actually an entertaining game. I mean, I'm sitting there watching this and I'm like, it's a field goal fest. Nobody scored a touchdown. Not a single touchdown was made on Thursday night last week.
It was kind of a boring game, in my opinion.
I mean, the Rams and the 49ers played a very glorified game of Rochambeau, and the 49ers flinched.
You know what? I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Now, Chris, being that you refused to give up on the faith, you were a true believer, sir, and it paid off this week because the Cowboys weren't playing at home.
Finally.
When I saw the score, I just thought Chris knew somehow. Some way, somehow he knew.
No, it's just blind faith.
Yeah.
Blind faith. That's all.
No. I can tell you. No. I can tell you exactly. He had this plan from a get-go. He flew over there, put like sprinkles and glitter on his beard, and gave the entire Cowboys team a glitter.
No, here's what happened. Chris put his hair up in these buns on the side of his head, and he put on the whitest robe that he had, and he knelt down, and he said, "Help us, Tom Landry. You're our only hope."
Yeah, you found me out. You got me.
So,
You-
I
you
mean,
got-
but 30-14. I mean, the game was on. The game was
we know
on.
who the Panthers are. Like,
Yeah. I mean, the game was on at Texas Roadhouse where we were eating lunch after church yesterday. And Mindy looks over and she goes, "We're winning?" I was like, "Yeah, but you're beating the Panthers. So does that really count? That's like the JV team in the NFL right now."
Yeah.
right.
She goes, "A win's a win." Shut up.
Sorry, but you guys picked them. You can say it, but you guys picked them.
Yeah, but they've been doing kind of well for themselves.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so they're figuring things out, but yet Bryce Young still manages to shit the bed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Darius, as far as a designated bar for you yet, because you don't remember what you picked, son, that is up to you to.
Yeah. Because of right now, you are late to the game on the picks and everything like that.
Here's what we're gonna do for the rest of the season for you, though. Okay, if you have a Facebook account, and don't give me that shit about Facebook's for old people. No, I don't want to fucking hear that.
I mean, Facebook Meta did give $1 million to Trump inauguration campaign.
So, if you are on Facebook, or hell, if you have an X account, go find us on X and tweet your picks at us, or post them on the post that we have when we post the picks. God, that was incredibly harder to say than I thought it was going to.
It was hard to hear.
Got it better in your head.
Yeah, it did sound better in my head, much like my proposal to my wife sounded great in my head, but then when I started, I
got a wing. I got a wing.
I'm drooling all over Fenway Park. I'm like, "Hey, you marry me?" Okay.
I got a ring.
Colin, you were the only one to pick the Browns. And
Okay,
I
listen to me,
understand why. I understand why. I understand
Listen
why.
to me. I think God heard me, and I think I'll meet you halfway with an ankle injury.
Well, and if you do use it to contacting family, I'm sure your family will be understanding if you follow Angry Me Production on Facebook. You know, like a good fan, like a true listener does. I mean, I'm on the
Like
show.
somebody that
I'm
is vying.
actively I'm the co-creator of this show, and I follow us on Facebook.
Mhm.
I don't
So-
have Facebook, so and that's
We'll work on
I'm
that.
sorry, was that an excuse? That sounds like an excuse.
I have Twitter.
We all picked Houston, and by God, the Texans won.
That was a good game. I watched
It
that.
was a good game, and the Texans, for back-to-back seasons, are your AFC South champions.
Well
So,
earned.
good.
Yeah.
Love
Good
to
job, guys. Good job there. Good job. All right, next up.
You know, when you pin two sucky teams against one another,
But
this is
here's the thing, right? We were all convinced that the Jacksonville Jaguars sucked a little bit less than the New York Football Jets.
Okay, but it was a close game.
They
No, it
both
wasn't.
sucked.
Or am I
It
think?
was
Okay, am I
12
thinking?
point margin.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay, hold on. What was the
25.
score? Wait, what was the
32 to
score?
25, New York.
32 to 25.
Am I thinking of a different game?
Probably.
Probably. I mean, I'm willing to, at this point, I'm willing to blame aliens.
It was those the drones.
It
That's
was
what
the
it
drones.
was.
That's right. The drones are not there looking for radiation leaks at night. No, they're there hijacking our feed.
No, it wasn't that. It
What
was
they're doing is they're sending mind control pulses through our camera, and you know they're making us pick things a certain way. Do what now?
Okay, well, I mean, it was a touchdown and a field goal.
you can't blame the drones because they were at Jacksonville.
It was a what?
What?
You might want to do that math again.
Yeah, Colin, your math is off. Your math ain't mathing.
Oh,
But
God, that was
David,
It's a touchdown.
drones can
Extra-
hijack the feed from anywhere because it's the internet, guy.
I said, yeah, no, my math's right. It's a
It was
touchdown
a
and an
touchdown
extra
and
point.
a
No.
two-point conversion. You said field goal. It was a
That meant,
touchdown
like,
and a
extra
two-point
point.
conversion.
No,
It's 7 points.
yes,
They lost by
25, 20,
A
25,
points,
touchdown for
26,
6 points
26. Yes, and then the
and a
extra
2-point
point.
conversion.
No,
2-point conversion makes it 8.
It would have been tied if they made one touchdown.
yeah, that was the
So
difference.
touchdown difference. Yeah.
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 Okay.
So if they would have had to
My math
2-point
wasn't
conversion, they
mathing.
would've won.
That's what was fucking me up about his method of logic was my math
I
wasn't
didn't look
mathing.
at a calculator, so
Yeah, but he said it was a
I
touchdown.
got one right here.
I feel the extra point. The extra point.
Extra
Wait,
touchdown.
2-point conversion.
we are
Extra
ranked
point.
amateurs here. This is
2-point conversion, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. They would
no,
have won.
amateurs.
it was not. It was not a 2-point conversion
I
difference.
said
It
if
was. It would no. Oh my god.
Gentlemen,
they lost by 7.
Ceasefire.
Let's do the math again. They
ceasefire.
lost by 7.
Ceasefire. Okay.
That's 7 points. A touchdown with a 2-point conversion is 8
A
points.
touchdown is 6 points.
Yes, and a 2-point conversion is how many?
That would make it 8.
Yes, and then they would have won.
I'm not
That's-
saying it that they won. I'm saying the difference between the score.
Please.
Yeah, but
let
then there would
AI
have been a tie. They would have got to
please
go.
let AI
Yes.
That's not a win.
I'm not saying the win. I'm saying the difference between their scores.
Yeah, but then they would have been in overtime, and it would have changed everything. Then their scores would be
Exactly.
different.
I love you guys. I swear to God, I do. All right, so we're moving on. The point that we were trying to make is that the drones hijacked our internet feed and sent us mind control, beams through the camera. So yes, we understand that the game geographically took place in Jacksonville, David, and that all the drones are up in New Jersey, but the internet's everywhere.
You know what? to get this moving along, I agree. Don't care. We'll just go on and we're gonna move on.
You are such
Wash-
a fuck knuckle. It's not even.
Washington. Well, Chris and Collins almost killed each other.
We all picked Washington. Guess what? We were all right.
Yay!
Barely. But
We all
were-
picked Baltimore. We were all right.
Yeah.
no surprise there.
Yes, we can all blame Taylor Swift for the inaccuracy of our math and David's inability to understand how the internet works.
I'll take that. I don't care anymore.
I agree.
We all picked Baltimore. And yeah, okay, so we were all right there. And then we all picked Cincinnati. Yay! The one time we all picked the Bengals, they pulled it off.
Yeah.
And for the record, that was a 10-point difference there.
Who are you talking to? You talking to me?
Hey, if the Lord convicts you,
New
if the
England.
Lord convicts you, then that is between you and he. Okay. Next up, we all picked Arizona. Guess what? We were correct. That was awesome. Okay. And then Colin, you and I,
Donkeys.
we stayed faithful to the Mile High Donkeys, and they worked it out for us. Broncos beat the Colts 31-13, and so we should be thinking, as far as Houston is concerned, they should be thanking the Broncos for beating the Colts because that helped seal up the division. So, yay. Okay, moving on.
The game of the
Right. I was the only one that picked Buffalo to win.
dude, that was a good game.
Oh, it was a great game, but I was still right. I
But are you happy that you're right?
am.
Are you happy
guess
the Bills
what,
beat
Colin?
the Lions?
I'm a married man. It doesn't happen very often.
I'm gonna tell that to Mindy.
Wherever you can.
It's just
Don't
Buffalo.
worry. I'll tell her myself. Okay.
She's gonna be heartbroken.
No, she won't, because she's going to look at me and her sister's going to look at me and they're both going to be like, and? Look, he's texting her already.
No, I'm not. My
If you're going to
phone's
talk
right
shit
here.
about me, son, make sure you're accurate.
What a snitch. Oh my
Don't
god.
be like some people who tried to rat me out earlier in the year.
He's snitching.
You mean with his phone right here that I'm not on?
Oh, don't get butt hurt, dude. Come on. Be better. Be better, son. Be
Yeah.
better. Take a deep breath. Rub your earlobes. Woosah. Come on. All right.
Not mad.
See, he just hit the home. He hit the home screen, then held it up, and then he goes back to the. I know how it works.
All right. So moving on. Colin,
your
you and I were the
information,
only ones
The
to
last
pick.
thing I
Tampa
was on
Bay.
was Twitter.
Hey,
You're good, man. I'm
we're
just-
shifting fire here. Tampa Bay. Colin, you and I picked them. We were right.
Cool.
My nephew's in here. Oh, great. Hi, guy. Speak now, forever hold yourself. Anyways, moving on. Philadelphia. Guess what? We all picked Philadelphia. We were all right. I know. I'm just mailing it in at this point, but and then, oh, David, you picked the Seattle Seahawks. You were wrong, son. You done fucked up, AA Ron.
It's called being a professional amateur.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have any of us gotten paid for this show yet?
No.
No, we're all amateurs. Thank you very much.
We're amateurs.
Yeah.
All right. So for the record, as far as tonight's contests are concerned, we've all picked Minnesota. They're holding true to serve right now. At half, it's 13-0. And we all picked Atlanta, and they currently hold a 7-3 lead with 6:17 left in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So, on the road again. All right.
Okay.
Give me just a second. Get everything set up here.
Excuse me. Wow.
We're on week 16 already, guys.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
The season's gone really fast.
Yeah.
It really has.
I never really paid attention to football until this year, so it's like weird.
Yeah. It's kind of fun because I'm like, all right, guy, who are you going to pick? You know, he's like, I don't know. Do I need to pick? I'm like, yes, you need to pick.
What's really funny is what someone suggested. Sarah from work. She told me she didn't really pay attention all too much until she started doing a fantasy football.
Oh yeah, that'll make you pay attention real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a full-time job right there.
Because
Yes.
she watches the show on Spotify every once in a while, and she's like, "Y'all don't do like fantasy football stuff, so I just go for the."
No, because and I can say this because
That's a lot of work.
I was
don't
part
know
of
how
both,
it works.
I was part of both groups here. All right. So fantasy sports is basically Dungeons and Dragons for dudes and girls who beat up on people who played Dungeons and Dragons in high school.
Yeah, they're the ones that make fun of you for playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Like, you know, you're going to spend money on this team that you don't actually own. Right. You know, like,
All you're doing is stat analysis like you do with.
do you
How much?
make
Are,
No.
how much are die for D&D now?
Depending on what you get.
Well, I tell you what,
Super-
next week we can look around and, you know, we'll find you some. It's not like a
Oh yeah, I said I commanded Jake to make a campaign for the
Yeah,
Christmas break.
don't hold your breath about that happening. Okay. So Thursday night's game for the coming week on the 19th, we have got the Broncos at the Chargers. I'm taking Denver.
Yep.
Just because I haven't been all that impressed with the way that the Chargers have been playing the last couple of weeks. They're kind of running. It seems like they're almost running out of steam a little bit. I mean, they're still in the hunt for a wild card spot, just like the Broncos are. But with the Broncos, they're playing almost up to their potential. But I'm going with the Broncos, especially after the Broncos coming off the win against Indianapolis last week.
Yeah, I was going to say I will take the Broncos based solely on their performance this past week. They actually
It's a Christmas miracle.
impressed me. Which
What
is
about you, David?
difficult for me to say.
I'm going with Denver. I'm not really a Chargers fan. Even if they were like high up, I probably wouldn't even get them.
All right, Darius, remember I told you to write your picks down and tweet them at us or message us so that way.
I'm looking at it right now.
I know. It's his responsibility to write them down so that way he can post them in a comment. That's all I'm saying. He's got to do the legwork. I'm not putting them on the board.
He needs to wait and do it all at once instead of just doing each and every one. No, I'm looking at the stuff right now, and he's already sent me it. He's already sent me like the first one, Chargers. He's doing it like each one that we get.
I know. I'm looking at the chat, and I see that he's in the chat talking about it. Is that what you're referring to?
No, on the Facebook page.
There's. Oh, my God. Okay.
Acuna Tatas.
Write it
Pump
all
the brakes, Fox and friends.
Your breasts. Okay. Slow thouest artist roll, Felicia. Okay. Fucking kids these days, I'm telling you. All right. Now I know who I want to pick for this next game, but I don't know if I should pick them for this next game. You know what? I'm willing to take the L on it and hope that I'm right, but I'm picking Houston against the Chiefs next week. And that's a Saturday game.
I can't do it. I gotta go Chiefs. I don't want to go Chiefs, but I have to. I gotta go Chiefs.
You know,
I want the Texans to win. If I was making
I want this to not be an emotional pick for me. But here's the thing: if Patrick Mahomes is in fact hurt. His backup blows, right? He's going to be not as mobile. Okay. I mean, he's going to try to, he's going to try to hit the edge.
Yeah, I'm going Houston on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take Houston because I think that even with the deficiencies that Houston has as far as their secondary is concerned, I think that the edge rush for Houston is just is a little bit too much for Houston's offensive line.
The Black Magic.
For a little much for Kansas City's offensive line, rather.
God, I'm thankful that you met me halfway, but I'd really appreciate the other half. I mean, like, if he does show up, you know, there's black magic involved if he shows up. So.
Well, I mean, Taylor Swift's going to be in attendance, so it's all good. Chris, you did say you're taking the Chiefs.
Hold on.
You make a compelling argument. You do.
Okay.
And now I'm questioning myself.
I mean, it's still technically in pencil. It hasn't been inked yet.
You know what? I'm going to go with the group. I'm going to go Texans.
Okay.
I'm going to keep faith with the Texans.
All right.
I mean,
Only because I have doubted them before and it's burnt me. So I'm not going to doubt them.
Okay.
We can all fail together.
You're right. All right. Yeah.
It depends on what version of the Chiefs shows up. That's the thing.
Well, if Derek Stingley has the type of game that he had yesterday, I have a good feeling. So
yeah. Exactly.
Next on the docket is it's another Saturday game. We've got the Steelers at the Ravens.
This is a rivalry game.
Yeah, it is actually.
I'll probably go Ravens.
Like part of me wants to, but this isn't the Ravens of old.
No, they're not. And I think that Derrick Henry, after he cut off his trademark dreadlocks, is going to be like Samson. He's just not as good.
He lost the source of his power.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go Pittsburgh on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go Pitts.
And you said Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that one is kind of a difficult one.
What about you, Colin?
I think it's going to be close. It's going to be within 10 points. But
see, TJ Watt being out, hold on a second, Colin. As far as TJ Watt being out, I don't think it's going to be that big of a big of a difference maker, because they're going to have that next guy come step up. I don't think that, even with TJ Watt being out, I don't think Derrick Henry is going to be that big of a factor. He's going to be a short yardage guy, pure, plain and simple. And as long as they can keep Baltimore behind the sticks, I think they're going to be fine. But who are you taking, Colin? Ravens, okay. All right, next up, we got the New York Football Giants at the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons.
No question.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we're going to take Arizona.
Yeah.
Not even a question.
Yeah.
Watch. We're going to get every other game right, and this is going to be the one game everybody gets wrong. It's going to be.
I won't be mad. All
right. So, the Lions at the Bears. This is a divisional game, but it's more like a speed bump. I think it's going to be a scrimmage match for the Lions, and I think it's going to be an audition for the second string running back to come in and then try to prove that he belongs there for the rest of the season and their run through the playoffs.
Yeah. Going Detroit on this one.
Detroit all the way around. All right.
Yeah.
Next up, we have got the Titans at Indianapolis. With as bad of a game as Indianapolis had, I still think that they're going to be in a better position to pull this one off and right the ship than the Titans are going to be on the road. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be in a lap.
Going to Indianapolis on this one, yeah. Okay. Then we've got the Rams at the Jets. This one's a no-brainer. We're going to go Rams all day long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to speak for the group.
Yep.
We have the Eagles at the Commanders. The Eagles do have control over the NFC North or NFC East, rather. I don't think they're going to let this one go.
Nope.
I think the Commanders are going to they're going to take an L on this one. So Philadelphia all day long.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. God, this next one's gonna suck.
The Battle of Ohio.
It's not the angry me who gives a shit game of the week though.
It
No.
is not.
No.
It is not.
The
I'm going Bengals.
I would
Yeah, I'm going to take Cincinnati on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Cincinnati.
I'd say this is a close runner-up, but is
Although I do
I
love the quarterback for the Browns now.
yeah, I just have more
Why?
faith. I just have more faith in the Bengals.
Yeah. I mean, while Jameis Winston is doing good things in Cleveland, we can't ignore the fact that J. Cole went double platinum with no features on his debut album. So, you know, it just 6.5 one dozen to the other. David's got that lost deer in the headlight look.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Just look up J. Cole and you'll see everything you need to see. All right, next up, no-brainer of the week. We've got, well, it's not the no-brainer of the week. We've got that one next. Vikings at Seattle. I'm going to go Minnesota.
Yep.
They're rematching the Lions in a few weeks, right?
Dude, don't.
No,
I don't. Are they? I don't remember.
focus on the game at hand.
Don't do this.
Focus on the game at hand. Minnesota versus the Seattle Seahawks.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I said Minnesota.
Okay. Had me worried there for a second there, guy.
Right.
I've been choosing them all year. What do you?
I know, which is why I was worried. Okay.
Just call Firefly. It's okay. Don't do that again.
Like just blink to me 3 times consecutively if you're being beaten behind the scenes. That's all. Okay. All right.
What if I did 6?
What?
Well, then you're on your own because then that just tells me you're doing it out of malice. like David, consider this the call at 3 a.m. that I ignored. I want to go to that funeral knowing that I had every opportunity to change the outcome.
Dude, that clip is probably the greatest gaming clip ever.
I know that is the absolute best.
So good.
Okay, so now we've got this is the no-brainer of the week, I think. This is the Patriots at the Bills.
Yeah.
The heir apparent to the MVP title this season, Josh Allen, I think, is going to help his offense run away with this game. And yeah, I did. I called my shot there. Josh Allen for MVP.
I mean, you're probably not far off on that one.
I mean, ever since he proposed to Haley Steinfeld, dude, I'm just saying. Come on. That's Kate Bishop, bro. Let's go. I mean, we already knew that he was kind of like a superhero, but he literally inserts himself into the MCU now. See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to take Buffalo. All right, I'm going to say this one time. I get the fandom. I get it. But there's a very fine line between having faith and being delusional. While CJ Stroud is having a good year, he's not having a Josh Allen year. No, absolutely not. But moving on. Sunday. Let me see here. 325. We got. Ooh, this is the Angry Me Who Gives a Shit game of the week.
Mhm.
Yeah. We have
Uh,
Jacksonville Jaguars at the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'll go Jags.
Okay.
I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it. Sure.
Well, seems like a
Okay.
good idea at the time.
I mean, can I pick neither? Is that an option?
The only thing that would make that game even remotely watchable is if Vincent D'Onofrio walked out during halftime doing his like cockroach routine from Men in Black. Water,
Can I just
sugar,
Can we just
water.
forget? Can we just forget about both teams for a week? Like,
can I just say that, no matter who wins, we all lose?
The only winner of this thing is whoever buys the toaster.
But then, why are we abusing the toaster?
We're
What
not
the toaster
abusing
do?
it. We're trying to set it free in the whole and in the
No.
water.
Well,
I'm
see,
just
David, because
I'm
we
trying to
see
watch it.
obviously that the machines are on the rise,
that
and once they take over, and the refrigerators of the world start to become the household overlords. Personally, I keep my toaster cleaned out because I want a spokesman.
that poor toaster was just dirty. I was trying to give him a bath and make him look presentable.
See, Chris is on board.
I mean, that's a bad day away from
Yeah.
saying he puts the
Laugh.
lotion on it or with the hose.
Live, laugh, toaster bath.
That's got to be a shirt.
Nope, I'm going to make that a sticker. Nope, that's going to be a sticker.
Mandatory Fun Day has that on a t-shirt.
Damn
Yeah.
it!
Well, then fine. We're making it a sticker.
No, we
Fucking
can't even-
dicks.
if
We
it's
can't
a
even
shirt,
do
there's a sticker.
No, okay. Here's the
Bet,
thing.
bet I won't.
On that, no stickers, no shirt. Walmart has already stolen one of their shirts. Walmart. And
Which
no. One of their shirts is actually one of the shirts for they raised money for autism. They raised like $140,000 for autism, and Walmart stole the shirt.
That's Walmart for you.
Fine. No sticker. God.
David really needed the money.
Copyright laws suck.
I do really like also just because Mandatory Fun Day has been kicking up a lot in my FYP. He has another shirt that says "I exist out of spite," which just that just tickles me in my undercarriage.
Yeah.
That hits me in a place that yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it on a shirt. I forget where I saw it. I like to identify as a threat.
Yes, I've seen those.
Okay, so the next game on the docket, we've got the 49ers at the Dolphins. Is Brock Purdy going to turn it around, or is Tua going to have another ball hawked from him? See what I did there?
Mm.
That was good. I like that.
Painful to listen to.
Did someone hand to a grilled cheese sandwich? Was that
Huh?
what happened?
What?
What?
Y'all don't watch Shane Gillis, do you?
We do. We're just trying to figure out where the correlation is between what
we
we
watch Shane Gillis, but we don't. I don't know who this Sam Gillis is. Is this like?
I said Shane Gillis.
Oh,
he
you
did
sound like you said Sam.
No. You heard.
Yeah, he
Sam.
did say Shane Gillis. I'll give him
No. There's a bit of him
that. With
about
his,
Apple that's
his
been on the chat.
yeah.
challenge,
Exactly.
and
What does
and
that have to do with the Hawktua girl?
not the Haktua.
That is what he was. That's the joke he was
That was the
making.
reference that I made.
We are just angry with each other today, and I don't know why.
What is?
It's the
I really-
fucking name of the company for crying out loud, David.
I hate that
Her
meme.
entire brand is Hawktua, and you come in with Shane Gillis and grilled cheese.
I hate that.
I'm still waiting to find out what the correlation is.
I was going with brain damage.
I'm going. Niners.
You need a grilled cheese then.
See how comfortable it was, Colin?
But don't make
What?
your grilled cheese from the same girl that makes the hand jobs. Just make her wash her hands first, okay, David?
Okay.
That one grilled cheese I had at the Army game that one year was pretty good. It had crab. It had crab in it, and it was grilled cheese, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a crab grilled cheese sandwich. It was pretty on point.
It was pretty good.
She didn't wash her hands.
No. that sandwich was pretty jumping though.
And then later that night, I had a street taco and like all the juice poured onto like one of my like my right shoe. So
Yeah.
So many innuendos. Let's go Miami with me.
I'm taking San Francisco.
I'm taking Miami.
All right. What about you, Chris?
Man, I got to be the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
It's not really a tiebreaker.
not really a tiebreaker. 'Cause Colin already said he's taking Niners.
Yeah, I'm gonna make David stand alone. I'm going Niners.
I'm used to it.
Just so Darius doesn't think that I'm ignoring
Yeah,
him.
so am I.
You see where you picked the Niners. All right, next up, we've got Tampa Bay coming to Dallas.
Tampa Bay.
This, listen. I know this is gonna sound like an emotional pick, but we finally have just a scrap of momentum. It's not.
No.
It's
It's everything of an emotional pick. There's
Listen,
no
you're not
no
necessarily
logically there's not there in what scenario is there a logical
Listen, let me
explanation
be
for
hopeful for just a
choosing
moment.
the Dallas Cowboys over the Buccaneers?
You're not necessarily wrong. Again, I am making a hopeful. It's not an emotional. It's hopeful. It is an educated wish
Okay, see
that we
yeah,
have just a slightest little bit of momentum to carry forward into a home game.
Colin, gubernatorial.
yeah, I wait, what?
One word. Just give me one fucking word.
Well, look, you know, you had me an educational wish. I'll let you have it.
All right, but here's the thing.
You're right. Hey, that's a good point. We are putting an educated wish on the Texans, so why not on the Cowboys? Stay true to the Texas team.
Because the Cowboys are playing at home, Chris. That's why.
Yeah.
They are two in infinity at home this year.
Listen,
you want to know what else is criminal? The fact that you compared the Dallas Cowboys to the Houston Texans.
First of all, I said stay true to Texan teams. That's what I said. I'm not saying
but by saying that, that's by putting them in the same boat as the Texans.
Okay.
It's Texas. It's a big boat.
Mind you, okay. The only benefit for this game is that it is at 7:20 p.m. Central Time frame. So
so Colin, you and I will be able to watch this game at home.
Well, not even that. I mean, you won't have like glaring sun coming in and destroying the game for
Oh my God, you're right.
David, oh my God.
You know what?
I'm going to go to bat with Chris. I'm going to go Dallas on this one.
It's a harder choice now.
It's because the moonlight. Okay,
it's a harder choice now.
Oh,
I'm still taking Tampa Bay.
You don't know what I get.
Because Mayfield,
I don't get
Evans. I mean, they're one of the hottest hottest pairs in the NFL right now. I mean, they're on the same page, kind of a situation. Their timing routes are absolutely on point. I just think that here's my thing. The Tampa Bay offensive line is playing just a very different degree of angry football than the Dallas offensive line is.
Yeah. I'm doing it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I like Micah Parsons. I think that the dude is just he is that level of generational talent, right? But I don't think that Dallas is the place for him to shine. And I want to see this dude lose his shit before the end of the season and go all Antonio Brown, like fucking walk out there in the third quarter. I mean,
Just not this game.
no.
Choose a different game to do it,
So,
please.
all right. I'm not saying that the Buccaneers are going to walk away with this game. It's going to be close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that the Buccaneers are going to come in and I mean, I know that their records are, I mean, literally that's a 2-game swing, but I'm like, I don't know, man. So, David, you're going Dallas.
I will go with Chris on this one.
And Chris, we know that you're
I
going
have
Dallas.
a question. Is the only reason why you're picking Dallas because the sun won't be out?
I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Well,
I would say, like, maybe he's frozen, but I can see him blinking and I can see his hand moving, behind his name placard. So, all right. Colin, what about you?
I told you my pick.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. So Tampa Bay it is. Okay. Okay. Next up, we've got our Monday night game. Nobody has a bye week this week, so again, but it's going to be the Saints at the Packers. I'm going to go Green Bay all day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
I don't
Yeah.
think we're going to see a lot of bye weeks.
Well, towards the end of the season, I think they're trying to get everybody, on that same, streak of momentum. The Chiefs, they've already gotten their bye week. So I know Patrick Mahomes is bitching and moaning. We got to play 3 games in the span of 11 days. Shut up, you're a professional athlete.
Yeah, but screw Patrick Mahomes and
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so Darius, as far as your 2 games in 4 days or within 4 days, that's all going to come down to OTAs, your preparation during your off season, and your weightlifting regimens and body care, in between during the week. So they're gonna have to just do the unique double up on practice and film days and things like that. I mean, they're just gonna have to prepare ahead of time for both games. And
Medical staff is going to be working overtime for
yeah,
sure.
I mean, the person or the physical trainers, and the medical staff, like Chris said, they're just going to be putting in the overtime, 100%. So the players have to make smart choices during the games, and the medical staff has to be there to pick up the pieces. That's all there is to it.
I'm just curious of how, and I know this is going ahead of time on even the picks or anything like that. I wonder if Netflix fixed the problem with their streaming for that game.
I do not have even the remotest sense of faith in that at all.
No, I mean, you're not going to see the amount of traffic on there.
No, not. Well, I mean, with the NFL, maybe the Chiefs game. Definitely, you're going to see higher traffic from the Houston and Baltimore areas.
True,
game,
but it's not going to be as widespread as it was with the Tyson fight.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're talking. That was a global crash for the Tyson for the Tyson dance.
Exactly.
Note I didn't call it a fight.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So I mean, with the Tyson dance, I mean that was a global crash. I mean, everybody wanted to see Iron Mike come out and destroy this kid, but hey, the joke was on the world. I didn't think that it was.
Did you see his kid died?
Who's
like Mike Tyson's not too long after the fight?
No, I didn't see that at all.
His daughter died.
Oh, okay, his daughter died. Oh, that's
like 5-year-olds. Like 5, I think she was like 3 or 5.
Damn. No, I didn't see that.
Oh, I did not see that at all. Here, let me look that up. Exodus Tyson died. She was 4, May 26th of 2009. Yeah, these are all back in.
Oh,
Yeah, no, there was an article dated the 15th of November this year, but it was just going back and talking about his daughter that died at 4 years old.
Oh, that I don't know. My mind's freaking. I don't keep up with a lot of news.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah, no. I mean, he's got a son. He's got a couple sons still. So, but
yeah, we know. We saw one at this and camera panning
Yeah.
around.
the Netflix froze, and there's Mike Tyson's dimpled ass for the world to see.
Yeah.
All right, so let me go ahead and save this as.
Which is why I love. Hold on.
Oh no! That needs to be week 16. That's what it is. Okay.
Love this picture right here. It's very hilarious.
Yeah.
He's walking the canes.
All right, David. Let me go ahead and shoot this over to you real quick.
All right.
And there you go. Just like that.
What's going on here? That one. Come on.
All right. All right. So, Colin, you ready to go?
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Rising from the smoke and haze of desolation comes a Spartan. He is bent on wronging that which has been set right. It's the greatest genetic code ever to exist here for your ears and eyes to feast upon. Spartan Colin, I hope you're bringing the smoke tonight. Someone get me a joke.
Through research, did you know that redheads have the most car accidents out of any hair color? Did you also know that most redheads are women?
coincidence?
I think not.
That was good.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to get into so
What?
much.
What?
Anyway,
What?
go ahead.
I had to sound out this name in my head. Okay. What's pink and covered in cobwebs? John Bent Ramsey's bike.
John Benet Ramsey's bike.
Yeah.
Ooh.
See, I don't see, but it's not as funny as what I.
Oh,
had.
it is. And it's relevant, son, because Netflix just came out with that huge biopic, that docuseries about John Benet Ramsey.
That's never going to go away.
It's never, ever going to go away.
Unlike the Menendez brothers.
I can't believe they're probably going to get out.
Neither do I. But, with Trump coming into office, maybe they'll get deported.
Well, they're naturalized. They're natural citizens.
I know.
But with Biden on his way out, he very may well pardon them.
Surprised he didn't.
I mean, he did pardon like Chinese spies and
Child porn.
yeah.
He may as well just freaking.
I was trying to find a cleaner word so we don't get demonetized, but yeah, that.
Well, yeah.
Child porn.
It is what it is.
That was the original joke, if y'all were wondering.
Yeah, but the relevancy with the name.
Yeah, but
Apparently, Canada's going through a thing.
didn't we talk about that earlier?
You mean besides being America's cat?
Yeah. No, I've been following it for
I'm down to talk about Game Awards because I watched it.
We're going to calm your. Don't
I was just putting the idea out.
prematurely jump the shark. Okay, we just broke David of that habit.
No, you didn't. What?
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Yeah, I was.
At all.
Look, I was making an educated wish.
See what you did there.
Okay. Yeah, so the Gamer Awards were last week. Astrobot took Game of the Year. So
As it should have.
as it
So,
should- as it
any
should
of y'all, you know what really pisses me off about all the people that get mad that the fact it didn't win is that they won't accept the fact that it had the things to win. So for all these Sun Wukong and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth people are like,
Mhm.
oh, how did this top Sun Wukong or Final Fantasy?
Yeah,
Because
the-
it was enjoyable and it was fun. It's not. And a lot of people have been making arguments about the sales. It's not which game had the most sales. It's which one people enjoyed the most out of.
Yeah, I mean, because they can track stats like replays.
yeah, player engagement.
Yeah.
It's like
Anybody can buy it, but
Astrobot-
if you're not playing it,
Astrobot was such a good game, and I haven't played it, but like I've seen gameplay of it, and I've seen a bunch of the different crap, and it deserved to win. I yelled with happiness when the game won. Like I was like, yes.
Yeah. See, what for me, what sealed it up is that when the director of Astrobot went up there, the designer, he
Yes.
he went up there
Nintendo.
thinking Nintendo.
Yeah, dude. See that's how you do it. Like that's because truth be told, a lot of the games that, or at least most platformers, wouldn't be here without Nintendo. Like
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
Nintendo set the
What about
the
Atari?
basis. What about it?
Nintendo basically invented the platformer.
Right.
You know, as he said, Mario Bros.
But
Yeah.
they had categories like best adaptation. The winner in that category
I
was
did not agree
Fallout
that
series.
I did not. Oh, I got mad. I got heated.
Why? Would you wear the white
Arcane,
knuckle? Oh,
Arcane should have won that by a mile.
okay, all right.
Arcane is such a good show that it's Fallout. Okay, look, I understand. Like it was all right. It was all right for what it was to me, but it's like
Well, unlike Game of the Year, when they talk about engagement and then they talk about number of views, that's a measurable stat on streaming platforms. So Arcane,
yeah,
let me finish. Arcane wasn't there as long. It wasn't out as long. The advantage that Fallout had is that it was live action, which is what an adaptation is. So it also
the only reason. Okay, well, it's because so it was the reason why it was nominated was because it was Arcane's season 2
uh-huh.
that came out this year, and sure it wasn't out as long, but it would.
I'm not debating or I'm not just besmirching the quality of the season. No, I'm not at all. I'm simply just stating that the measurable stat that they went off of, the one that played the heaviest in their voting metrics, was number of views and like media engagement. Okay, you didn't see as many people engaging on social media about Arcane as you did Fallout, and a lot of the engagement with Fallout. In fact, over 90% of the engagement with Fallout on social media across every platform was positive. And the amount of
I guess
generated whenever they announced season 2 was in production People went
Yeah, well,
absolutely nuts.
yeah, not as many people were interactive with Arcane Season 2 as it was 1,
And then that's
but
the reason.
Yeah.
That's,
yeah,
in fact, that is the reason.
yeah, but it's funny because the main character, or not, well, there's multiple. Lucy from Fallout,
Mm-hmm.
she also does a character in Arcane, so either way, she would have won an award.
Yeah, but at least at this point, the adaptation for Fallout, I mean, she gets an actual FaceTime, presentation with it, so people know who she is now.
Right.
Yeah,
But
I was just like watching it. I was just a little heated because like
and I
thought
get it,
Arcane should have
and
won.
I mean, there's people that that they're probably like Elden Ring nuts, and they're probably, well, why didn't Elden Ring get Game of the Year? Well, it's because it's a fucking DLC, not the base game.
Okay, listen. Okay,
I was just trying
after
to.
wait, no, I
We've
know,
got
but
other
after further,
categories, dude. We've got other categories we got to cover.
all right.
So, studio and game direction, Sony Interactive Entertainment went and got that award this year for Astrobot. Astrobot, it cleaned up a lot this year. Let me see here. You've got action game. The participants in that that category were Black Myth Wukong, which was the game winner, or which was the winner in that category. You had Black Ops 6, you had Warhammer 40,000, Helldivers 2, and Stellar Blade. Helldivers 2 should have, I don't know where they finished in the voting, but that should have been a lot closer than I think that it actually was.
I feel like it would have done better if they hadn't shot themselves in the foot in the later half of the popularity. Because right when they were at their peak, that's when they sabotaged themselves. I feel like if they would have continued on with what they were doing, and kept, because that player base was engaged.
I mean, I think a lot of it was the fact is that somebody figured out that it was the devs that were actually running the automatons.
Right, exactly.
So
but when they started with the whole Sony thing and having to sign up,
and I think
that was where you lost your engagement.
The studio for Helldivers, well, that was Sony Sony Interactive with Helldivers, because that's an IP, but. Yeah, when Sony shot themselves in the foot with Helldivers 2 in the second half, it's like, if you would think maximize your sales, maximize your profit margins by expanding to all at least PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, we're Sony and our shit doesn't stink. Well, you know what? Maybe just calm your tits a little bit there, guy.
That's one thing that I've never got. Why wouldn't you do that? Is create a game for a lot of
really it's all about
profit.
They have it in their head that remaining exclusive will get them more money, which I don't understand the correlation, and I don't see how they can even justify to themselves when you expand your player base, you're gonna get more money. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, I mean, you saw what happened whenever Sony and San Diego Studios opened up the portability for the show.
I'm nervous about, because Sony's wanting to buy From Software, and I'm like, I don't need them.
Anything Sony buys is gonna end up being exclusive. It's just,
well, not only that, but
okay.
This is one of the reasons why I hate Sony, is because they have one of the greatest exclusives of all time, Bloodborne, and they do jack crap with it.
Yeah, a lot of people are
upset. Yeah, players have been screaming for that for years.
Dude, dude, they could make so much money just on a remaster alone.
I think, like, okay, so like with what Xbox is trying to do, like, you've seen their media pushes about this is your Xbox, this is your Xbox, this is an Xbox, and I'm like, okay, I get that they want to try to get as many people signed up for their Game Pass service, their cloud gaming, as much as possible, and I think that that's a good move.
Mm-hmm.
But and just on some of that alone, just like with the introduction of the Backbone One, the ROG,
Well, there
the Steam Deck. I mean, and just with your Game Pass Ultimate being able to play, Xbox titles on PC. I mean, their subscriber base for Game Pass Ultimate has gone through the roof. Now, it hasn't necessarily equated to console sales, but and I think that console sales ultimately are going to be at some point. I think that I think that Sony and Microsoft at some point in the future, they're going to collaborate and they're going to create a centralized console. I really do. And it's going to boil down to software wars at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you look at the difference in quality though, and you're talking about if you do an apples to apples comparison between the Sony version of Game, or whatever the PS Plus and Game Pass, and you look at the quality of the games that they have in Game Pass and in PS Plus, and it is night and freaking day. The Xbox quality of games that you have in there are so much better than the play. And I say this as a massive PlayStation fan.
Yeah.
I am.
No, yeah, I mean,
I
yeah,
love-
don't get.
But
Yeah.
you look at the titles that are available in there, and
I mean,
just what they have available in the PS Plus does not stack up.
Yeah,
any-
see, because
It-
Chris,
it
you and
doesn't.
I both have the next gen consoles,
Yes.
and I
have
mean,
one.
I do play on my PS5 a lot, but I'm playing the PlayStation exclusive titles now, things that are cross-platform, like your CODs, your GTAs, things like that. I'm playing on Xbox just because
The-
I'm a gamer score whore, right?
Right.
So
But one of the biggest things too that gives Xbox the edge, I feel, is that day one exclusive, the day one
Yeah.
available.
it is.
You gotta-
It is. And so like I was playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on the day, because I didn't pay for the early access.
Like that.
I
that
didn't
is
upgrade to the
smart.
Ultimate Edition. But that game is fun.
Yeah, and that alone makes it you get more value out of the Game Pass. You're getting more value because you're getting day one games right there. Whereas with PlayStation, you gotta wait a year plus before you get those in there.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, with the day one access on the streaming platforms like your Game Plus or Game Pass Ultimate, I try. The only reason I have bought games digitally in the past is because with the boys living up there with their mom and I'm down here, I buy games digitally so that way they can play them on day one with, but the games that you buy digitally, you don't actually own. You're just purchasing a license to play the game versus buying a physical copy of it. Now, I've gotten where I'm very particular about the type of games or the titles for the games that I buy physically. Like the Ghost of Tsushima, I bought that, had to have that. Such a good game, still quality game. I'm playing through the director's cut now, but
you also know that you're going to be playing that multiple times across.
oh yeah, absolutely. And like with Halo, it does not matter. If it doesn't matter for me because like with Halo, I've got to have the physical copy. I've had physical copies of every Halo game, and that's just a game that I want to invest in, right? I want to bring that home. I want to actually be able to play it because eventually there's going to come a day when the online support for these games is going to go away or they're going to leave Game Pass, and then where are you going to be? So I want to be able to play those games because that is a franchise specifically that I've invested a lot of time and a lot of money into, and a lot of energies into. So and more intangibly, it's building a lot of memories with them. I play the co-ops. Looking at you, Halo Infinite, which are no fucking co-op. But like Halo, the original Halo trilogy, playing that with Colin, playing that with Reagan. And I mean, for me, that's priceless type stuff. And that's stuff that I'm only going to, here in the future, I'm only going to get if I've got the physical copy.
Yeah.
So, and that's just like, I'm going to go repurchase day one release copies of Halo 1 and 2 to play on my OG Xbox. just because, and not hey, we're game of the year or Xbox's greatest hits. No, it's like day one release copies with the cover art and everything like that. I know it's stupid, but it's like that's just something that I want. But and in addition to William Shatner being on that bucket list of people that I want to meet Steve Downs. He's the voice of the Master Chief.
Did y'all? I'm guessing none of y'all watched the Game Awards, right?
I watched a little bit of it because
Harrison Ford came
I was
on.
busy with that rather huge Christmas project that I've got.
Harrison Ford came on, and
yeah, but getting back to the Game Awards, anticipated game. I feel like the winner of this particular category is going to be the winner of this category for the next couple of years. But Grand Theft Auto 6 won most anticipated game. That beat out Metroid Prime 4, Monster Hunter Wilds, Ghosts of Yotai, and Death Stranding 2.
I voted for Monster Hunter Wilds because that game looks dope, and I am a big Monster Hunters fan.
Yeah. Now, ongoing games, Helldivers 2 took home the award on that one, but it beat out Fortnite, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy, and Destiny 2, why is Destiny 2 still being played? Oh, wait, they just came out with a $130 DLC.
I think Helldivers
like a DLC, you're exempt.
Thank you.
Okay, oh, real quick though. After further examination and I thought it through, Elden Ring deserved to be nominated. Here's why. The this year. The DLC for Elden Ring is the exact same size as the base game. I feel like if the DLC matches the base game with the amount of effort and how big it is, then that's more acceptable to be put in as a nominee.
No.
And then that's the same kind of logic as saying Activision is okay releasing a broken game on day one because we're going to have to download a 100 gig update just to play it.
See,
exactly.
No. What I'm saying is that as long as the amount of work that went into the final finish of the base game, and as long as it's as big as as long as it's as big, if not bigger, I feel like it should have a rightful place as a nominee.
Well, instead of putting it as a nominee for Game of the Year, how about this? How about instead of passing it off as a DLC, which, while in essence it may be as big as the base game, if not possibly larger than the base game, that doesn't necessarily equate to it having the same type of quality as the original release. So, they're going to spend all this time, money, and effort and these marketing dollars to try to push out a DLC that's as big as the original game. How about give the fans what they want, which is the actual sequel?
Yeah.
Elden Ring 2.
Yeah.
They announced it.
How long has Elden Ring been out?
It came out in, I think, 2022.
Okay. So with that being said, okay, we're not asking for a Call of Duty type formula where they release a new game every year and beat people over the head. They've had enough time. They've had enough time to, they've had enough time to, and why am I freezing? They've had enough time to build a new game. Don't sit there and be like, oh, well, Elden Ring 2, we're announcing it, and everybody goes fucking goo goo gaga.
I
would be a happy medium between Madden and Call of Duty coming out every year, and then like the development cycle of GTA 6. Like there has to be a happy medium.
With sports games, Chris, sports games, I understand that because you're with now Madden for a couple of years there, they basically just copy and pasted to make the rosters current. And the mechanics weren't changing. Exactly. Now, you remember back in the day whenever Tiger Woods, PGA Tour golf, right? You would have new mechanics every year, and the game got progressively better. That I understood. The NBA 2K games, the Maddens, the NCAA coming up next year.
See, okay, Souls games, they usually don't have a huge time gap between them, and pretty much all of them, with the exception of maybe Dark Souls 2, just because, well,
Yeah,
you know
but
what?
you won't see them
They're
getting
they're
nominated for Game of the Year when they get a DLC released.
okay. What I'm saying is that okay, Elden Ring. So there was technically never supposed to be an Elden Ring 2, but it's not the same guy who worked on Elden Ring originally. I think it's like his son or something. Um, and it's gonna be a roguelike, which it's kind of weird, but because Sekiro got Game of the Year when it came out, and Elden Ring, uh, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, the easiest fix to this is give DLC their own category.
I
DLC
can
of the year. And that's the easiest way to fix it, because you're going to get these people with these established titles that have been running for years, and we're going to release this huge, beautiful update to it, and we're going to be in for Game of the Year, running for Game of the Year. No, because
Well,
you're by definition, downloadable content is an
by that
add-on to the game.
by that logic, shouldn't remakes also have their own category, which would have taken Final Fantasy Rebirth out of the nominees?
Yeah, and I don't agree that Final Fantasy should have been in the running either.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, because me personally,
Just because you
and I
put
know
lipstick on a pig doesn't make it a lady. It's still a pig.
me
Okay. The funny thing
personally,
about
and
that little white speck on the top of bird shit, it's still bird shit.
I enjoyed Final Fantasy Remake
Being able to enjoy a game, that's
more,
fine. That's one thing.
more than
Slapping new packaging on it, putting a new skin on it, does not make it a new game. The Game of the Year award should be reserved for new games and new games only. You want DLC, you want to remake a game, you want to add on to a game, fine. Get your own categories. They did it for the Grammys. It's good enough for the Game Awards. It's not going to dilute the talent pool. It still gives these game designers an opportunity to shine and be applauded by their community of their peers, but it doesn't alienate your player base.
I was just say you're actually alienating the developers that actually put their heart and soul into a new IP by recycling
you know what's
an award again.
Yeah.
You know what's funny
it's not-
about the you know what's funny about the Balatro game that was nominated? The guy who made the Balatro game he said he made it because he was bored.
And hey, sometimes, I mean, the
Yeah,
guy
some-
that created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they did it as a joke.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, they got esports. League of Legends took home that game. Family Game, Astrobot took home the honors on that one. Balatro took home debut indie game as well as independent game. Community support, Baldur's Gate 3. Score and soundtrack was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. See here, I'm just trying to run this through here so we can land this plane in the next couple of minutes. Games for Impact, we've got Neva, which was actually a pretty cool little independent kind of like almost like a platformer. It's on the Switch. Let me see here. Audio design was Senua Saga, Hellblade 2. We got fighting game, which was Tekken 8. Role-playing game was Metaphor. Performance was Melina Juergens for Hellblade 2. So these are voice actors. Esports players, nobody cares. Sports racing games, EA Sports FC 25 took home the honors in that one. Innovation and accessibility was Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which beat out Star Wars Outlaws, which is not getting a very good. It's just no. There was a lot of promise there, but when it came out, people.
I don't even know why they brought it up in the Game Awards. Nobody liked it. I mean,
But VR game was Batman Arkham Shadow. Strategy game Frostpunk 2. Action adventure Astrobot took home the award there. Let me see here, and that's basically about it. I mean, in addition to the Game Awards recognizing people from the gaming industry. That it's
Did you,
basically
did you
there.
go over narrative?
Huh?
Did you go over narrative?
Hold on a second. Let me look here.
It was Metaphor. That Metaphor took that one.
Yeah. Okay. But Metaphor took that one.
I
But
kind of want to see what that game is about.
yeah, I mean, we will have time to check it out. But I most of what I was looking at, I mean, because my X timeline, my notifications for X were just blowing up during the Game Awards because all of the trailers that were dropping.
Yeah.
So
it was awesome.
guys, I think we're going to call this one a night. It seemed like a pretty boisterously debated episode tonight, so that was a good one for us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting next couple of 10 days for the NFL, 10, 11 days for the NFL. So
Don't forget, next Monday, we're going to do the Die Hard Christmas.
yes, next Monday is our annual reading of Die Hard Christmas. Read to you by yours truly. So be here for that. Gather the family around, have them log in on their own devices because we could use the viewership. I don't really care. But yeah, it's been fun, everybody. So with that being said, I'm Lord Johnny Skelton.
I'm David Dickerman.
I am Chris Jacka.
I'm Colin Skelton.
And you have become indentured. I would dare say that you have been strapped down to a life of indentured servitude. Yeah. Nobody said anything about pegging. But with that being said, to quote the famous lesbian pirate, Bearded Clam, scissor me timbers are, and we're going.